It's almost universally agreed now that climate change is caused by humans and it's on its track to wreak havoc on the planet. Scientists release new studies every year, if not every month, demonstrating the effects climate change has already had on the Earth and projecting the damage it will cause in the future. Storms, droughts, floods, famines, and mass extinctions are just a few of the consequences in store for our home if we don't do something about the problem, and fast. The main driver of climate change is the greenhouse effect. Some gases in the Earth's atmosphere act a bit like the glass in a greenhouse, trapping the sun's heat and stopping it from leaking back into space and causing global warming. Many of these greenhouse gases occur naturally, but human activities are increasing the concentrations of some of them in the atmosphere, in particular carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, and fluorinated gases. Some of the causes of the rising emissions include burning coal, oil and gas producing carbon dioxide and nitrous oxide, cutting down forests, increase in livestock farming. Cows and sheep produce large amounts of methane when they digest their food. Fertilizers containing nitrogen produce nitrous oxide emissions. In order to stop global warming completely, carbon dioxide emissions have to reach net zero worldwide. In addition, reducing emissions of other greenhouse gases such as methane can also have a powerful effect on slowing global warming, especially in the short term. But with so much uncertainty, we are better off investing in a different kind of machine, one developed in nature's own laboratory over millions of years and with a proven record of safely drawing down gigatons of carbon dioxide. Trees. Kenya is among the unsung climate heroes leading the way in climate change mitigation and adaptation. The Kenya Forest Service has remained steadfast in pursuing the forest cover that had been initially set at 10% by 2030. The target has been achieved courtesy of the political goodwill and support from various stakeholders in the environmental sector.
Our government has been keen on increasing the forest cover. Actually, the president the other day spoke about having 30% forest cover by 2050. And I'm here today. We may have, within this year, maybe we can do at least 10%. I believe we can do at least 1 million trees, annually, then we can be able to we can be able to contribute to that, that very, very ambitious goal. If we do not take care of our environment, then we get into a lot of conflicts. You had the other time when COVID came, where people were gasping for oxygen. If you go to hospital, people were gasping for oxygen. And people had to buy oxygen tanks to be able to get oxygen. So if we could only plant trees, then we can be able to overcome, pandemics in the future. And that's why one of the reasons why we are making this connection. People who do not take care of their environment are more prone to conflicts. They're more prone to hunger. If you are not able to feed your children.
Global Peace Foundation, Chandaria Foundation, Safal Mabati Rolling Mills Foundation, the Standard Group PLC and the schools have continued with their commitment to champion youth participation in peace and environmental stewardship. Global Peace Foundation, through its service arm, encourages peaceful cohesion and youth volunteerism in community service. The partnership aims at accelerating the 1 million annual tree growing campaign that seeks to promote the country's efforts in achieving the 30% tree cover. This has culminated in the planting of 1,000 fruit trees in both Mombasa and Kilifi counties, targeting schools and vocational institutions.
So our goal here is actually to see this goal being achieved by the year 2030. At the same time, we are here to actually rally, or rather call upon young people to be in the front line. Our constitution talks about youth participation. or rather all citizens' participation. So at this particular time, we are urging the young people, by virtue of their numbers, that they can come out in those big numbers, actually by conserving the environment.
We are targeting to sponsor 1,000, to plant 1,000 fruit trees in Mombasa and the Kilifi County, to basically make a contribution as good citizens of the world towards preserving our environment. Tree planting is one thing that we all need to take up to preserve our environment and make a contribution in our little way in our different places of work or even in our own homes.
Some of the challenges within the two counties include charcoal burning, which is still a menace, and ignorance on tree growing process. Some of the stakeholders do not feel responsible in growing trees. They still feel it's somebody else's business. Unemployed youth being used by political aspirants to cause chaos and prolonged dry season, limiting the survival of some trees. Trees have remained to be a source of oxygen supply, food supply, carbon absorption, and a source of alternative livelihoods and many other benefits. Their growing is essential for a healthy and sustainable ecosystem. Paul Tiongo, KTN Farmers TV.